Go straight to the headlines here in France. Then in the papers today, Diptyque Laurent is with us. Going to start with this story. We mentioned it briefly in the news. The Russian billionaire, senator as well, isn't he? Under investigation here in France for tax fraud.
That's right. It's really gripping the French papers because it has all the elements that make these kind of stories really interesting. You have a Russian oligarch, a suspected money laundering, tax fraud, the Riviera city of Nice. Nice Matin, the local paper there, says, "What an affair" on its front page, and have slapped a picture of that Russian oligarch there. Really, they're marveling at how this scandal is unraveling. On Monday night, Suleiman Kerimov, a Russian billionaire and senator, was arrested. He's now been put under investigation, which could lead to a trial. A French judge accuses him of laundering tax fraud money, which could see him placed in prison for up to 10 years. Concretely, he's suspected of purchasing luxury residences on the French Riviera via shell companies that French authorities think he may have been using to basically stash his cash and avoid the taxman.
And in Nice Matin, they've also published a little bit of a portrait of him as well, haven't they?
That's right, and he's a really colourful character, Kerimov. He's, as I said, a senator for the small Republic of Dagestan, which is near Chechnya, and an oligarch with reported ties to the Kremlin. The 51-year-old made his €6 billion empire after the fall of the Soviet Union. He invested in precious metals, gold, and the banking sector, really made his fortune there. In 2006, most notably, he crashed his Ferrari on Nice's Boulevard des Anglais, causing considerable damage to the vehicle, as you see in this article from Nice Matin.
OK. And the arrest, no doubt, though, rather stoking tensions between Moscow and Paris. This is a piece in Le Monde.
Well, Moscow is furious over his arrest. They say he's got diplomatic immunity as a senator. But French investigators were kind of wily because they arrested Kerimov while he was traveling on his personal passport, thus arresting him as a private citizen. Now, Russia has questioned a French diplomatic representative in Moscow over the affair. Even more extraordinarily is the fact that French investigators, despite investigating, looking into Kerimov for the past 3 years, sort of stumbled upon this breakthrough that enabled them to make the arrest. They were actually doing a drug raid and happened to find cash that was linked to allies of Kerimov. So, as I said, it has all the makings of a Hollywood movie.
Let's stay with the Russian connection for this next story. We're going to talk about Marine Le Pen, far-right leader, of course, here in France. She's had 27 of her party's bank accounts closed. Société
Générale, the French bank, and HSBC, they're the banks that have closed 27 of the party's bank accounts without giving a reason. That's what L'Opinion says on its front page, the right-wing paper. Front National's money is suspect. The paper suggests that there could be a link. We don't know why, but there could be a link between the closures of these accounts and a €9 million loan that the far-right party obtained through an intermediary in 2014 from a Russian bank that's since gone under. In any case, Le Pen herself is furious. She says a, quote, banking fatwa has been issued against her. Basically that she and her party have been blacklisted by the banks. She calls it an attempt to suppress the opposition. Libération newspaper explains that after Société Générale closed their accounts, the party did try and open accounts with other banks, but to no avail.
French MPs, they're mulling over a new bill seeking to make changes to parental custody of children in France, proving to be quite controversial, though, isn't it?
That's right. Libé calls it la prise de chou. It's actually a play on words headline that basically means to get worked up about something. Chou in French means little child. It's kind of a pet name for a child as well. In this case, they're getting worked up over a French bill that MPs are beginning discussions this Wednesday in Parliament that suggests making shared parental custody of children in case of separation or divorce a default agreement. Now, the MPs bringing this bill forward say it's a move towards gender equality, that it gives the father more responsibility over the child's upbringing in the case of separation or divorce. But parents' groups say it glaringly overlooks a major reason that many women leave their partners, domestic violence towards them or children. Furthermore, this bill could end up cutting off child support to women, many of whom rely on that support to raise their children. In any case, the bill does in theory, have support in the idea that children do need both their parents, even if the parents are no longer together. One family expert interviewed by the Catholic paper La Croix says maintaining a relationship with both parents is crucial to a child's upbringing.
And finally, from Diptyque, we're going to end with a study from British researchers. This is into how and which alcohols affect our emotions in different ways.
That's right. 30,000 people from 21 different countries took part in an anonymous survey. 60% of people say they feel tired after drinking red wine. There's no surprise there.
What a surprise, yeah.
And it turns out that many of us drink to fill an emotional emptiness, which is quite sad, really. Because 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 people say they feel aggressive, sad, or irritated after drinking, in particular, spirits like vodka or gin. The survey did find that drinking spirits like vodka do make people feel sexy. Beer drinkers admitted not feeling sexy after drinking beer, but say they do feel relaxed. There you have it. Drink in moderation.
In moderation is all right. I think there may be a bottle of wine opened at home in the household a little bit later on. We shall see. Thanks a lot, Diptyque. Laurent there with the French papers.